Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world. This is the world of Wayne. Today sees the start of my year project. This is going to take me a year, I reckon. I'm going to be doing the Polar Lights 1/350 scale Star Trek Enterprise refit. Now this is quite an intimidating model. If you just want to build it, then quite easy, just bung it together, you're happy and give it a paint job. The whole idea of this though, I think, is that you've got a lot of aftermarket stuff and electrics that you can put into it to make this one hell of a dynamic piece of art, which is going to be going in the collection, and that's exactly what I intend to do with this. Now, I've been inspired by a couple of YouTube channels. First of all, you've got Phil Siegel over on Spruverse, and I've put a link here for him, and he's actually doing the refit at the moment. He's built quite a lot at the moment, and I believe that some Aztecing is going to be done on the actual saucer section and stuff in April. So be sure to tune into his channel and make sure you subscribe to that. And the other channel is Boyd over at TrekWorks, who's actually doing this as we speak, and he's very much ahead of mine. I understand Boyd's actually built this in the past. This is my first attempt at building this, so I'm a complete virgin to it. Now, apart from some of the aftermarket parts, which I'm going to go through in a second, all the lighting is going to be done by moi. I'm going to do all the electrics myself. I am going to be using an Arduino board, and as this video goes on, I'm going to explain my strategy. See, I'm getting good at saying that now. My strategy of how I'm going to achieve the lighting effects for this model. So, I think the first thing I'm going to do is unbox it, and I'll show you what's under the lid. Now, all the decals are in here, so let's just take this out so you can have an idea of what they all look like. Check that out. Absolutely loads there. Gonna have some fun putting those on, that's for sure. I'm going to put this back because I don't want to damage them. I don't actually need them at this time. And then we've got the instructions. I've actually got two sets of these instructions because one of my viewers, John Freeman, actually sent me some instructions as well, which are going to help for me to actually plan what I'm actually doing. And these are both sides. It looks quite comprehensive how to put these things together, but after you start adding aftermarket parts, it's going to be a lot more difficult by the look of it. But that's the instructions. Then we've got the saucer sections, and these are massive, as you can see there. If I show you on this camera, look at it. So that's the top, and on the other side we've got the bottom there as well. Now I will be talking about the top because the first thing I'm going to be doing is actually looking at the AB deck. The AB deck that comes with the kit isn't going to work, and I'll explain that one in a second. But that is the saucer section, ginormous. As a matter of fact, if I lay this on my board here, just having a quick loose measure, you're looking around about 42 centimeters in width there. But massive section. And then everything else in this kit, as you can see, is all the sprues. I've already opened this up just because I wanted to look at some of the parts that come with this. You've got all of your transparencies and clear parts in here as well, and this one here as well. Look, loads of them here. We've got the base, which is looking just like that. All of my electrics are going to be in the base. I'm not going to have any. Obviously, the LEDs and stuff will be in the model, but the actual controllers are all going to be in the base. I'm not going to have any controllers in the main ship at all. There you go. And a couple more bits now. Look, I started. There's so much in this kit. This one here. And then finally, we've just got some of the pylons there as well. Now, I've deliberately left out the nacelles. And these are the nacelles here. And as you can see, they come pre-wrapped in this bag. And what I'm going to do is, because I haven't taken these out, this is how they come. And I wanted you to have a look quickly at some of the things that you're going to notice about these nacelles. And that is that these have already been joined together. Okay, so obviously they're on a little pin. So when I glue these, I'm going to be putting in. So we have got a seam line here, but I don't know if you can see on the close-up, when it's pinned in, there is a kind of lip there, which is probably going to need to be sanded down. And it's these details, the continuity, that's what I was looking at, that I'm actually checking on the nacelles. And it's not too bad from the top, but underneath there is some little problems, as you can see at the back there, which doesn't match. In this section here, which doesn't match. Other than that, look at this end here. There's a little offset there that doesn't match. So it's apparent there is going to be a lot of work to do with actually making this to the quality that I want it to be. Now, the good thing is that this is a model kit, and you expect some things like this, so it gives me something to do. How much there is to do of that, I don't know. We're going to find out how we go along. But that is the basic model kit. Now, I'm going to be doing the extras, which are things like Photo-Etch parts, all the electrics for it, and obviously we're going to be doing the paint scheme and using some Aztecing masks. So now I'm just going to show you about some of the tools that I'm requiring to do that right now. Okay, so tool-wise, I've got myself a Tamiya Craft Tools plastic scriber here. That's going to be helping to not only cut some of the plastic, but also to score some of the plastic, especially along the saucer frame here. This is in my Amazon store, so that's one of the first tools I've got. Then I've got this Photo-Etch part bender, which is a metal base, and this does come with a really sharp razor blade here. And basically we put the Photo-Etch parts that we want on here, we put the razor blade underneath, and then we lift it up to actually mould them in. Now, some of the Photo-Etch I'm about to use are really tiny, and to go into that, I think it's best to show you some of the Photo-Etch parts I've got. This is the Paragrafix kit for the Enterprise Refit. Now, obviously, Paul from Paragrafix I met at Wonderfest last year. Absolutely brilliant guy. These are invaluable for making. I'm going to show you exactly how to use these. In the video description, I have put where I got them from, but I'm based in the UK. So if you're building this in another country, just type in Paragrafix 1350 Refit and you should find a local supplier which has these. But this is what all of them look like. Pretty cool. And then my next aftermarket section here is the AB deck. Now, if I show you the AB deck that we've got here, this is the one that comes with the model. Now, the problem is when this sits on the saucer section, it only leaves a tiny gap here for the light to come out, which is going to illuminate the saucer. So let me demonstrate that. So as you can see on this top section here, this will fit in kind of like this. It's probably not going to fit flush because there is obviously some flashing underneath here, but you see we've got a little gap at the front there. Now, a light's going to come out of there, no problems at all, but because of the position, the lip here is going to stop it going onto this section just here. So we need to actually lift this slightly, and I think it's going to go forward just a touch as well. For that to happen, it does mean I need to get rid of all of this, and on the new AB deck that I've got here, or you're going to see in a second, I am going to have to cut most of this section out as well, and I'll explain that in a second, because I'm about to open this so you can see exactly what the replacement looks like. And that looks like this. So let me put them side by side. So when that's out, this has got its own little lifters, as you can see there. So I will be able to have it slightly more forward, just like that there, which means the light will now clear this lip, and then it should illuminate this section, no problems at all. Now, you'll notice my one is missing the top, as you see here, but this is part of the kit. The top comes with it. This is what it looks like here, and it's meant to be able to come off. So let me just put that in like that, and there's the top on. The reason it's meant to come off is because it comes with the bridge. Now, I've taken some pictures here of what the bridge is going to look like, and we're going to be having seats. I'm going to try and light this as well. So what you'll be able to do is take the top off, look inside, and you will see the bridge of the Enterprise. How cool is that? They also provide some Photo-Etch parts here. Now, when you get this, there is some flashing on this that you need to remove. Now, I've already removed mine on this, especially on this side, and then I can actually use some of these Photo-Etch rather than the Paragrafix ones just to go on the back, namely this piece here, which will go on the back here. Then we can prime that up ready to go. But this whole kit, that's the AB deck and the bridge, comes in one pack. And again, that is in the video description. But we are talking tiny stuff here, as you can see there. Just putting it against me for scale. Now, the next thing I've got myself is some sandpaper, and this goes all the way from 400 grit all the way up to 1500 grit. And the reason for that is because obviously before we start doing any work on this, I do want to scrub this to get rid of any release agent, so give that some good soapy wash there. But I do want to take this sheen off and put a base for primer to go on. So this is all going to be really finely sanded before priming. In the inside of this, we are going to have to cut some of these sections out so that when I actually put the windows on the side, when the lights are in here, it will be able to penetrate that. You can see an excellent example of what's going on here over on the TWOK sites. But this is what the interior looks like. And then when we talk about the lighting, I'm using actual really thin wire here. So this is some red insulated, I think this is 30 AWG wire, and I've got some red so I know which is the positive channel, and I've also got some black so I know which one's going to be the ground channel. And anything else which I'm not sure about if it needs to be positive or ground, I have got a whole mixture rainbow of the same sort of wire here that I can mix this up. The wire is the most important thing, because when I'm actually doing this build, all the wires are going to be trunked through the central pylon, through the stand, so everything is going into the base. As I said, there's going to be no control panels, no nano chips, nothing, Arduino nano chips, in the main body of the Enterprise itself. It's all going to be in the base. And then when it comes to lighting, I'm using strip lighting. This is just a white strip lighting. I am going to use most of my effects with either clear acrylic, or I'll be using coloured LEDs. So I've got this white strip lighting here. And then talking about LEDs, they're not actually LEDs, these are SMDs, and these are tiny. These are the size of a match head, as you can see there. I got these from Amazon, and I put these again in my store. But check this out. Look, we've got warm white, we've got white, we've got blue, we've got yellow, we've got red, and we have also got green. Now, I have also got some LEDs on the way, and they are what they call, I think they're BiColor. I think they're called BiColor LEDs, mainly for the impulse engine. So it's basically one LED, which can either turn blue or amber. I've got 20 of those coming. I don't think I'm going to use them. So it's very good that I can actually pass a signal to them. I can have blue and amber at the same time if I wanted to, or I can have blue or amber. And I think that's going to be great for the deflector dish, doing something with that. I might add some red to that as well, but mainly for the impulse thrusters or the impulse lights just at the back of the saucer section. Now with the nacelles, I'm probably going to be using again this, and then using a color filter on that to actually get that in, which means I do need some masking as well. I haven't actually got everything that I need here at the moment, so I will be ordering as we go along, but I wanted to give you an idea of how I'm actually starting this project. Now I've seen Phil and Boyd do his, and I think they both started with the saucer section and doing the lights there. I'm not going to be doing that. I'm going to start with the bridge, which is something that if you just buy the kit you haven't got. I'm going to do the bridge, I'm going to get the arboretum sorted out, and I'm going to get the officers lounge sorted out as well. And I'm going to give you an example of that right now. Check this out. This is one of the lounges. This is what actually comes with the kit, but the figures that you see in there are from Partwork upgrades. Now I'm going to try and you can probably see a dead figure in there. I'm probably going to try and get that dead figure out, because I've painted this in the Wrath of Khan colour schemes. Now these are 2mm high, so they were fun. Let me put it on my hand there to build, but look, check that out. And they've got the colour scheme, they've got a badge on and all that. I've only done 4 because that took long enough, but I used a really big magnifying glass, a little tiny pin, and a tiny brush to actually get those. They're going to look absolutely brilliant, and I can change the uniforms as I go along. So I've got the officer's uniform, and then I can change the crew uniform for when we do the shuttle bay and the arboretum. But they are from Partwork upgrades, and you get about 200 of these figures, but I can't see me putting 200 in there. Now it is these little interiors which actually make this whole thing pop. So we have got, as I said, an officer's lounge. We have got another room, and we've got the arboretum to do as well, and that's probably where I'm going to start. And at the same time, I will start doing the saucer section, but all fun. Now remember I said you get 200 of those figures? Just bring this across. There you go. I've actually just cleaned these. So these have had a an isopropyl alcohol bath, and now they're ready to paint pretty much. So looking good, aren't they? And then it comes to painting. Now I'm going to be using masks from Aztec Dummy, and Lou over at Aztec Dummy has got a great series of videos which I've put up here which shows how to apply those Aztec masks. Now to be honest with you, the painting side of the masks is going to be way down the line. I do believe Phil over at Spruverse would have has his done, and Boyd as well, to be honest with you, so I will worry about that later on. I'm not quite sure about paint schemes and colours yet, because as you know I am colourblind, and I am trying all the help I can get to actually get the colour schemes. But what I do know is that when I prime, I'm using the Army Painter colour primers. I'm using matte black, which I've got over here, and I'm using matte white on the inside. That should be the base for the whole thing. If the matte white is too white, then I might change that to an insignia white, but I'll see that as I go along. But that's the colour schemes, and then obviously I need greys, duck egg blues, iridescent colours. There's all sorts of things, but as we get to that stage, I'll show you what that looks like. But this is my passion project this year, and I just wanted to give you an insight of where I am, what I've prepared for, and going forward you're going to see this on the channel. Now, there isn't going to be a set schedule of this going out every week. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to be working on it and filming as I go along, and then when I think I've got enough footage, then I'll actually release that so you can see what I'm up to. What I have tried to do, especially in this video as well, is I've tried to give chapter points as well, so you can see what I'm working on or what I'm discussing in each section, so you can just actually click to that if you are brave enough to try this for yourself. And believe me, even though I've just done this video now, I am still very, very, very nervous about doing this, and it isn't for the fact that Phil and Boyd have actually attempted this that's now gave me the confidence to have a go myself. But it's going to be absolutely brilliant. So with the help of, as I said, Phil, Boyd and Lou with the Aztec dummy designs and the painting of this, I'm hoping by December we have got one hell of a really good model. But we'll have to see. I will be heartbroken if it doesn't work that way. But that's the first stage. We're going to be building from stage 2. So without further ado, let me just wish you a happy new year. This is my project. Thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Take care.